Innoviti is India's most exciting and fastest growing payment company. They help customers get access to attractive credit scheme by using technology to create more efficient way of distributing capital than conventional systems. They do so by using their payment platform as a leading marketplace. They pioneered instant credit card, EMI schemes, and small business owner credit through payments channels besides many other products. Innoviti works with leading organizations in India in the retail, hospitality, healthcare, travel, and education systems, and is the only company to support through all customer channels, be it offline, web, or mobile. Well, this was a short brief about Innoviti. And now may I please call upon once again Mr. Harish Bhatia to please introduce our moderator for the panel. Mr. Harish Bhatia.
Hi, from bricks and mortar to the online one. You all heard what the topic is, rethinking retail transactions, enabling convergence in retail payments. May I first welcome our moderator, Rajeev Agrawal, CEO of Innoviti, to come on stage. Rajeev is responsible for driving the vision and growth at Innoviti. An engineer by profession, he has spent his formative years at Saskin, Bangalore, heading their ADSL products division. He's a BTech and PhD from IIT Mumbai. Before he calls upon all the panelists on the stage to take this discussion forward, 5 things what you guys would like this panel to address on these topics. Anything which comes to your mind, which you would want this panel to address on this topic? They have laid down what they want to talk about, but anything you would like to hear specifically? Sure.
How do you make mobile money interoperable?
Just pass. No?
My input was, how do you make mobile money interoperable?
Sure.
How do you enable small merchants access payments other than cash?
2. Anybody else at the back? That's it? With this, I hand over to Rajeev to call upon the other panelists and take this discussion forward.
Thanks, Harish. So let's look forward to an exciting pre-lunch session. To start this session off, I would like to invite the first panelist, Mr. Abhijit Ramesh, the Senior Director, Emerging Products and Innovation, Visa International. A brief introduction about Mr. Abhijit. Abhijit has a wide-ranging experience across multiple payment products and processing platforms, including credit cards, debit cards, prepaid, commercial solutions. His primary area of responsibility includes e-commerce, interpersonal payments, mobile payments, and contactless payments. So we are going to be looking at some exciting information about how these various kinds of payment products and processing works there. The next gentleman I would like to call on board is Mr. Nitin Chittal. He's Senior VP and Head ATM and Payments at SREI Infrastructure Finance Limited. Hi, Nitin. Mr. Nitin is a cost accountant and MBA by profession. He has earlier worked for Access, IDBI, Principal Mutual Fund, India.com, and Financial Express. In his current role, Nitin is responsible for setting up an ATM business, a POS merchant acquisition business, and the launch of a prepaid mobile wallet. Thanks again. The next gentleman on board, I would like to call him Mr. George Anthony, Managing Director and Country Head of UAE Exchange India. Welcome, sir. Mr. George started his career with the Catholic Syrian Bank in 1981. Quest and aspiration spurred him on to look for something more challenging, finally taking him to the UAE, where he joined the UAE Exchange Center in 1982. He is instrumental in setting up and growing the UAE Exchange in India to its present level as the MD and country head. And the final participant in this panel discussion, I would like to invite Mr. Jitendra Verma, the Chief Technology Officer at Inox Cinemas. So Mr. Jitendra Verma is an influential IT management executive with over 19 years of global experience to leverage technology in driving organizational growth. He has worked actively in the area of looking at contactless solutions being driven across prepaid wallets as well as across card acceptance, and over 7 years of experience in mobile application infrastructure, internet technologies, e-com, and media streaming. So with this, this is the panel that we have here. I think for those who, it's a payments forum, but for those who are probably still figuring out how when you swipe a card at an outlet, what all happens at the back of it, it's very interesting that the composition of players or the composition of participants that we have here today actually in a very interesting way represent every element of that ecosystem. So when you go to an outlet, and I'll just take 2 minutes and then we'll start the discussion. When you go to an outlet and you pick up some goods and you present your card, the place where you are obviously shopping is what is typically called as a merchant or a retail outlet. And Jitendra Verma here is representing Inox, which is obviously a consumer-facing entity where all of us as users go and watch movies. The transaction from a merchant outlet tends to go to a financial service provider, a banking entity, or it could be a non-banking entity for that matter, who actually accepts the transactions and authorizes that, gets the transaction authorized on behalf of the merchant. So a financial service provider, we have it represented here through Mr. George, who is representing UAE Exchange. Of course, they are primarily into remittances and foreign exchange management here, but they're representing a financial service provider here on stage. The transaction from there tends to go to what is called as an exchange or an association or a scheme. They have multiple names used for that. And we have Abhijit here representing Visa. And finally, all of this is put together by somebody who's providing payment solutions, which is where I think Nitin comes in place as an ATM and payments expert. So would like to welcome all the panelists here and set the stage starting for our discussion. Can you put this mic on, this off? So what we're going to do today is we have, of course, received a couple of very interesting points as Hari started the session in terms of how do you make mobile money interoperable and how do you enable small merchants for payments. What we're going to do today to start the panel discussion is to broadly look at 3 themes. So one is the kind of transformation that is happening in payments, which is user behavior related, consumer related. So this is all the whole area of contactless, the whole area of wallets. All of this requires the user to change the way he's doing things today. And it's very important to understand that because user behavior change is one of the toughest things to bring about in introduction of any new solution. The second point is related to how is the acceptance piece changing. How, if your user behavior changing and the user is presenting different instruments, how is your infrastructure around the point of acceptance of these payments, how is that changing? Whether it is the POS, whether it is the web, whether it is the mobile, or what have you. And finally, we start looking into saying how these financial networks that have been put into place are leading to convergence of various kind of financial services beyond just transaction banking. So how are these payment networks now being used for delivering credit? How are they being used for carrying out remittances? How are they being used for various other kinds of financial services which is beyond just a payment happening from a customer to a merchant? So these are the 3 broad themes. What I would like to do is to actually welcome each of the participants to actually speak for maybe 5 to 7 minutes on any of the topics inside this, and then we will engage that into a discussion and take it forward. So could I have Mr. George to probably initiate this with a brief
morning, all. For last 34 years, I am working in remittance industry. So I will just try to focus, give some view about how this is evolving. In the last 5 years, if you take how remittances have shifted to online and the way it has gone into from cash mode to digital mode, I would say industry has moved around 90% from cash to account in India. In remittance industry, or global remittances coming to India. We used to have around 60% of our remittances being paid in cash around 5 years back. 60 to 65% of the total remittance coming to India used to be paid in cash to the customer around just 5 years back. And today, it is 90% to account. See the degree of shift. What has made the shift? I would say if customer gets convenience, speed, and cost-effective product, it automatically changes. It's only a matter of time. It just happens. All this happened with the formation of NPCI. When NPCI came out with this ATM switching, it slowly started evolving. We are not marketed that you transfer money to account. It has just slowly started evolving by customer know-how that why I have to go collect cash, go to a bank or go to a counter and show your ID and collect cash. I can online transfer and then take from ATM. So my view about the international remittances, it is a proven case where customer behavior has changed on its own. These are all village customers, what I am talking about. Our business, say 60 to 75% of the remittances which comes to India, it is all going to villages. I'm not talking about metros. The village customer has become tech savvy. They know how to use ATM, they know how to use swipe it, and they are getting their money loaded into their accounts, and all of them are now using this mobile to receive the remittance. Money is sent from there, instantly it's credited. They get an SMS, that amount is credited, this is your balance. They go and withdraw, they get it's all changed. It's not that villagers or farmers doesn't know all this. They are all, if they find a use to it, they're all changing. Same way, we are very strong in domestic remittances. We were one of the first company to take this prepaid license. We started off because we are a pioneer in remittance business, and we wanted to do that in India, and we started up remittance here. And I see it's a huge opportunity there and so much more to do because people are still not aware, and one company alone cannot reach India. This is one thing I have learned in India. When you see global, and India is so huge and vast and diverse, and maybe one of the answers to why all this is not converting in India, because I feel like NPCI, how they made a law that this is a charge you can charge, this is the way it has to switch, this is the way it has to be delivered to customer, and that process is not there in mobile or digital space. It is really not evolved. It is in the evolving space, but it is definitely going to come in the days to come. And the way now the payment banks are coming, licenses are going to come, new players are coming in. I see that this wallet payments may really take over in another 2 years. Why? One of the main infrastructure hurdles for the growth of digital payments in the country is right now we don't have that speed of digital network for the end user. Many of the villages you go, you won't get GPRS. You get GPRS, it will not work. It works, it will not have speed. So these issues are there. With this new government's digital optical fiber link being laid out, connecting all the villages and panchayats, and they're going to offer this free, what do you call it, data broadband free for the Indian public. I see once the infrastructure is put in place and there are payment banks going to come in, lots of things will happen in the digital space for sure. We are in digital, remittances within the country. We are doing it in a big way. There are challenges. Right now, we are educating this using our branches and through our agents, because even though we have a mobile app to do money transfer from one person to another or to another bank account, customer doesn't use it. Maybe because the speed is an issue, maybe because they don't want to take a risk of using that. But it's a matter of evolving. Personally, I feel over 1 year time, in India, you will see everybody sitting here sending money from each other just through your mobile with one click. You don't need a POS. You don't need a merchant, actually. Everybody becomes merchants. Every individual becomes merchant. That level India will move to, where you go to get into a taxi or you get into anywhere, all the mobile apps will communicate each other. Payment, prepaid or bank account mobile apps will communicate each other, secured with all validations, and you transfer your money. And that is, according to me, the ultimate. And we are working on it because we didn't want to get into POS or cards, because these are all, in India, it will not work. You cannot reach a scale because it is so huge. So we are very clear that we will go through the wallet only, and there is scope for growth, and we are focused on the remittance side where people can send money from one to another, and wallet of